Hello, and welcome to Sweet Tea and Thread. This is podcast 19, I think.
We're not sure.
And look, we're back in the shop.
We're together.
Yes. So I'm Shay.
And I'm Bethany. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. If you're a new viewer, then welcome. We have been filming through Zoom quite a bit lately, so we're back together at Thread in the shop filming today. But if you like the podcast, be sure to leave us a thumbs up and a comment down below. Consider subscribing.
Yes, we would love to have you as a subscriber. So we're going to let Bethany start with what she's been up to.
Yeah, we're going to do things a little bit differently because we have special things to talk about today. But I'll start out with my finished object. I finally finished the dotted rays.
Yay!
So,
and it's beautiful.
This thing is huge.
Huge and beautiful.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Look. I mean, it just keeps going. But yes.
The whole part of it?
Yeah, that's...
There you go. We can both wrap up in it, I think.
So, this is the Dotted Rays by Stephen West. This would be, I would say, an advanced beginner pattern. It is garter stitch, so it's all knitting. You don't have to worry about purling. A few details in it that would be something new or a challenge would be the I-cord edging. And it has a little bit of short row shaping. The good thing about these short rows, though, is you don't have to pick up the wrap, and you just turn it around and knit back across. So I made the size large, and originally I thought that to make the size large I would need 2 skeins of Big Sky Star Sock. This is in the Bliss color. This is actually a new shipment of it, so this one is a little bit more peachy toned. You can kind of tell the difference. This is a bit more of a baby pink, or like a ballerina pink, I guess, and this has a little bit more peach to it. But I thought originally I was going to only need 2 skeins of this. It is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. It is 463 yards, and I ended up using almost 3 skeins in the end. So that's how much I have left. I believe it was 27 grams. So this would be enough for like heels and toes on a pair of socks. The reason I believe I got my yardage off is because I'm a very loose knitter, and I use the recommended needle size for the pattern. So in reality, I probably should have either A, checked my gauge, or B, I should have gone down probably 2 needle sizes for this project. I used a size 6, so I probably should have used a 4. But one thing I think I've kind of gathered from this is that Stephen West doesn't really give you a ton of extra yardage to play with. Most designers, what they will do when they design a pattern is they will give you a yardage amount, and that is typically more than what you actually need. And sometimes it's a lot more than what you actually need. In this case, it wasn't really meant to be, you know, a ton more than you would need. So just be aware of that. If you are a loose knitter and you choose to knit this is the larger size in fingering weight yarn with a size 6 needle. I love the fabric it gave. I love the size of it. It just took more yarn than I was originally expecting, and that's the only issue I have with it. So otherwise, I would recommend this pattern. I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The I-cord edging really gives a really nice finished look to the shawl.
Spoiler alert, I haven't told you, but I didn't block this.
Well, hey.
So it's a great shawl unblocked.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't need to be blocked, because I don't think you'd want the fabric, any.
I wouldn't want the fabric any looser, like any
Right.
more stretched out.
Right.
And I felt like, thankfully, my stitches were consistent enough, and my I-cord edging, like Shai said, was, well enough, like,
Mm-hmm.
made that it didn't really need blocking.
I would have thought that you had blocked it.
Yeah, no. No, I'm
So,
just
I mean,
that,
it has that
I'm just
look,
that good.
like, yeah, you are. Yes, I agree.
Oh, no, I'm not usually that great, but this turned out really good, so.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's really nice.
This was my TV knitting, though. So, I think that speaks a lot for the pattern. It looks like it's complicated, but in reality, this was TV knitting. I was sitting there and I was even watching some shows, and I had to use subtitles. And I was able to watch and read the subtitles while knitting this. So, it's a good project for that, because it is a lot of garter. So, yeah.
And I love some garter.
I know, right?
Alrighty.
Other thing that I have is, I don't have as much done. This is my work in progress. I don't have as much done as I was expecting. It's not very much further than it was last time, but this is the Nightshift. I put this down to finish the dotted rays because that's garter. This is mosaic color work. Easy mosaic color work, but still mosaic color work, So, yeah, I am in section 8 now. So I'm working through section 8, and there's 10 sections total. So I don't have too much further to go, but of course it grows as you knit it because it increases stitches. So I'm using 6 different colors. And one of the colors we're actually sold out of.
Of course.
Of course. I didn't finish it in time, guys. This is what happens. This means I need to knit faster and focus on one project. But this is the Moonshadow yarn. This is a Plymouth yarn.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it is a baby alpaca Perle Cotton blend. So it has a beautiful softness to it. And when I finish this project, I will block this a little bit, but it will give it just a really nice drape. So the colors that I have used that we have. I have color number 2, which is Natural Moon. That I paired mainly with color number 3, which is Pumpkin Moon. Then moving into the blue, I have, well, that doesn't have a color number, but it's Aqua Moon. And paired this with color number 1, which is Hunter Moon. Do you see a theme? Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Moon.
Moonshadow does.
Moon. This one also, the number is not on here, but this is Sunflower Moon. So the one color I don't have is the gray. But something that I thought would be kind of interesting to put with this, kind of to put with the yellow instead of the gray, is Forest Moon.
Oh yeah, that looks really good.
So that's really the great thing about this yarn, though, is there's a couple of other colors. Like there's a really soft pale green. There's a kind of a reddish coral color. Like most of them you can mix and match fairly easily. I am following the pattern as far as the stitches go, but as far as the color changes, I've talked about this in the past, I am not doing the color changes the way that she originally wrote it. The only reason I'm doing this is because I knit her shift cowl, which is the same concept, the same type of stitches. I got used to the pattern. I know how it kind of works up. So I felt like when I moved on to the Nightshift shawl, I could play around with where I wanted the color change and everything. So when I'm finished with this, and I may even go into Ravelry and try to update it a little bit, as it is now. But I will definitely write in my notes, my project page notes, where I put the color change for each section. And I may already have some of them in there. It's been a while since I picked up this project, so I'm not sure what I did on Ravelry. But I will definitely say, like, section 1, these, section 2, these. And that doesn't really give anything away as far as the pattern goes. It just tells you where I put my colors. So
This feels really good.
it does.
I like that combination of alpaca and cotton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really, really soft, and it's going to be warm, but not too heavy.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm probably going to try and stay pretty monogamous with this project and get this done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because I am kind of on a little bit of a deadline now.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, so I will be moving away for school in the fall, and so I'm trying to get some of my store projects done and here, so I don't have to worry about leaving behind unfinished work, taking it with me, finding time to do it, that sort of thing. So time crunch, and hopefully this will be done by the time the podcast next.
Yes.
It should be.
Right. All right.
Yep.
And you can tell what you're wearing also.
Oh, yeah. This is an older one that we did. This was the Raina shawl, and I knit this out of one skein of Hedgehog Fibres skinny singles, so it's a fingering weight yarn, and this is the Monarch color. So this is a great one skein project, and I am going to take it off because I am a little warm. But it has a really pretty open weave, as well as some garter details in there, and this is a pretty good beginner project. If you are just getting into shawl knitting and you're a little concerned about the mesh, she does have a way for you to keep track of it already in the pattern where you check off after each row. That's one of the things I liked about this pattern, is she gave you the little check off chart in the pattern, so that helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really good, easy one skein project kind of shawl.
All right. Well, what I've been working on, I still have my Breathe and Hope shawl on the needles. Probably not much further along than when we podcasted last time, but that's because
She
I
finished
did-
a project.
I
She
did this
started and
project.
finished a project.
Well, both of these are by Casapinka. This one is the Breathe and Hope, and I'll show that a little bit more in a minute. And this one is the newest pattern that she's just put out, the Hug Shot shawl. And it's the same concept as the Breathe and Hope, but it's more just some slip stitches to create the different sections, whereas on the Breathe and Hope you've got some knit one below, and so this works a little faster and is a little easier if you have trouble with that knit one below. And it has a little fancy row right there, but pretty much everything else, lots of just knit across and purl back rows, so that, you know, that makes it work a whole lot quicker. But I used Bethany's yarn Jolly Green Giant and the Hedgehog Fiber Poppy for this one. And the Poppy we no longer have because it's one of and I didn't take that long to make this. It never fails. We'll choose a yarn to make a sample because maybe it hasn't been selling or something like that, and as soon as we pull some to make a project, the next time we come in, it's gone. Why does that happen?
I don't know, but let's keep it up.
Yeah, exactly. So what else do we want to pull? And, you know, but anyway, so I really enjoyed knitting this. It was a lot of fun. Right now, with the purchase of a kit, you can get a code through next Sunday. It's going to be available. You know, the Breathe and Hope she just did for a weekend. This one she's started Friday, and it will go through a week from tomorrow, Sunday, that they can be redeemed.
And we'll put all of that information down below, and we'll
Right.
link our kits because we now have a website.
Yes, our website is live.
So you can shop any of the stuff that you see today on our website. And we have made kits, like specific kits for the Hug Shot shawl that will be available. You will get a free code with the kit through next Sunday, obviously. Just make sure you give us a valid email address with your order. And then, the other thing about those kits is they work for the Breathe and Hope.
Right.
So if you think, oh, I might want to knit the Breathe and Hope, you can still purchase one of those kits. You'll get the code, which you can choose to redeem or not. But then you can always get the Breathe and Hope shawl on Ravelry and knit that with the kit instead.
Right.
So it's another great option for that kit.
Right. And it was wonderful of Casapinka to offer this to the local yarn shops. It was extremely kind of her to do that, to help us along. They're both equally beautiful, and I had a lot of ladies that did the Breathe and Hope, and they had finished, and now they're starting on the Hug Shot. So, because they look different enough, and you do them in a different color, and, you've got two different shawls.
Yeah.
But it's that same boomerang shape.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, once again, this is the Breathe and Hope. I'm on section 6 of it. And this one is done in Harvest Oleester and Hedgehog Fibres Monarch.
We have one skein of Monarch, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
There
and we had to reorder
there
the Urth Oleester. So
Yes.
that's coming in, but just so you're aware, we're running pretty low on it.
Yeah.
But since we didn't have, as far as the Hug Shot shawl went, I wanted to show a couple of options and show the kits that we had as well. But we do not have the poppy colorway anymore in Hedgehog skinny singles.
No.
We still have a few skeins of Jolly Green Giant, and you can always pair that with another color. So this is Bramble. This is another Hedgehog Fibres Bramble. That would look really good with it.
It would. That's beautiful together.
Shay also said that she would put Bramble with
The black.
from Urth. I thought the black from Urth would look really stunning with Merlot from Hedgehog. And last skein of Monarch.
And I love that one too.
Monarch.
Yeah.
And
That's a great combination.
pair it with cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
If you want like a softer denim-y look, this is Big Sky Star Sock, which is the same yarn that I used for my dotted rays. This is one of her speckled colors in Klondike, and you can always pair it with this really pretty blue from Urth as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have yarn that we can play around with and pair different colors for you. Again, all of these are on the website if you want to shop them individually. But if you want to just go ahead and get a kit, we have a lot of kits made. We had a shipment of Big Sky come in recently, and so I sat one day and just went through and made a ton of kits. So Big Sky and Heritage, there's some that is Big Sky with Big Sky. I had a lot of fun going through and just kind of pairing different colors together. This is one of my favorites though.
Yes, that one is really pretty.
I probably wouldn't wear this personally, but I wish I would because I love these colors together.
Mm-hmm.
This speckled especially is calling my name. And so, we just wanted to give options for everybody. So, lots of different color options. I really like these two together, honestly. the yellow and the kind of golden yellow and the purple.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But all of these will be linked down below on the website, and you can shop and see what options we have, or you can shop our just single skein fingering weight.
Yeah, if you want to put together your own kit.
If you go under the yarn tab, then you can click on the category beside it that's fingering weight, and you can shop from that for your shawl.
Yeah.
So, anything else you'd
I
like
think
to
that's
say
it
about
for
that?
us. No, I don't think so. Both of these patterns work up pretty. Both of them are interesting. Even if you are, a more experienced knitter, this was still interesting to do. There was enough, difference between the rows and the sections, so you were changing up all the time. So it made it interesting and engaging. So I think they're both very good patterns. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed knitting the Hug Shot, and I'm enjoying the Breathe and Hope.
Yeah, and I love how those colors turned out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted a more subtle look for this one when I started it, and then I thought, well, let's go with something a little more dramatic in color change.
And she wasn't sure about this originally, and she sent me a picture. Okay, this is the next section. Okay, here's a little bit more. And I told her, I said, you just need to go with it, because I think that they pair well enough together, and it is interesting and different from what we typically do. So,
well, the Jolly Green Giant it's kind of a sort of like that kettle dyed effect.
Mm-hmm.
You've got lots of shades of green in it. In my house, they don't show up as much. But whenever I get it outside in the light, or I bring it in here to the shop, then I see, it just all looks like almost that dark green that it's almost black. That's what it looks like in my house, even with all the lights on. So that's why I was second guessing myself. But then when I brought it in here, I thought, oh yeah, that does look really good together. I'm really liking that. So that was.
It worked out really
You need
well.
better lighting sometimes to see the true value of a color. But yeah, I'm real pleased with how it turned out. All right. And you've got something else to share.
So one final thing. I've told people recently, I'm not a quilter. Somehow I'm making quilts. So since I am moving in the fall for school, I will be living in a dorm room, and I wanted to create like a homey space in my dorm room, but not really go overboard. And the way that I know how to do that is to make something. And so one of the ways I'm doing it is I'm making a quilt that I can use while I'm there. And I don't know if you would call this a quilt. I mean, I guess it is. It's a whole cloth quilt.
Yes, most definitely.
I'm going to stand up.
Okay. I was going to say, we need to
This thing is huge.
hold.
It is
There you go.
navy blue. Guess what? Brussels washer.
That is kind of our favorite fabric.
So it's navy Brussels on the front, navy Brussels on the back. You can see all the threads I haven't cut. Don't pay attention. And I'm just doing a running stitch. Yeah, look at all this. Ashley would have a heart attack.
Well, you're not finished yet,
No, I'm
so
not.
that's okay to have.
But basically, this is kind of Shishiko inspired. And if you don't know what Shishiko is, it's a Japanese stitching technique that was used primarily for mending garments. And so it can be anything from just a basic running stitch like this to, some more decorative stitches, more decorative designs. But the basic concept was that it was a quick and efficient way to mend your garment and add stability with more stitching on it. So this is inspired by it. I'm not calling this Shishiko necessarily because it's not meant to be mending the quilt. But It's Brussels washer for the fabric, and then the thread that I've chosen to use is Perle Cotton. This is the number 8 Perle Cotton. It just kind of tells you what kind of weight, how thick the thread is going to be. And I'm using 2 different colors for it. This is color 3000, which is kind of a cream, and then this one is color 8069, which is somewhere in between a gold and a burnt orange, copper type color. So I thought these paired really well with the navy. I asked several people's opinion. I asked Ashley and Kate and Shay and everybody their opinion about this, and we all kind of agreed this was the best route. So
it's really pretty. I like those colors. I like the navy and the copper and the cream together. Good color combination.
So I'm kind of playing it by ear at this point as far as how much stitching and where I put the stitching. I'm working from the center out at the moment, and then I will probably leave a gap of just the fabric and do another set of stitching before the edge of the quilt. And it will be bound in the same fabric, just because I wanted it to not be, like, I wanted the stitching to be the main focus of it. Everything else is just a background for the stitching. So,
right.
But yeah, a little bit of quilting.
Yeah. Well,
from a non-quilter.
It's going to be beautiful. You do very good work on everything you take on. So,
I try.
All right. Anything else we want to talk about today?
I think that's basically it. I mean, the shop is open now.
Yes.
And
our regular business hours. And as we said, of course, our website's always been live, but now there's shopping added to our website. So everything in the store is listed on there. There may still be a few things.
There's a few things that we will probably keep exclusively in the shop that won't be listed. And the other thing is we're slowly adding back classes. Obviously, we're trying to keep in mind the fact that several people are still not comfortable with getting out very much, but we are offering a few classes. Those are also on the website. Of course, if you want to take a private, like, one-on-one lesson, we have that option as well. You can always call the store and find out more information about that, or we'll post about it on Facebook as well, Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
So you can kind of keep up with what's going on. But, yeah, I think that's basically it.
All right. Well, our tea today, y'all, it's hot outside. So we're back to iced tea. And we're
from the South after all.
We're back to our iced tea. And this is a tea from Argo tea. It's called Black Currant. Unfortunately, they no longer have it. I've had this tea for quite a while. It was my first introduction to Argo tea. We went there for lunch in Chicago, and that's what they had in their beverage container to serve that day. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to have some of this. So I love it, but I'm sure there's probably somebody out there that's doing a black currant tea. I just can't tell you where. I'll have to research it and and see if I can find some more, because I don't know what I'm going to do when
you run out.
Yeah, when I run out, because I'm starting to run out of some of my teas that I just adore. But anyway, we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
That started us. So bye. I'm not doing this very good because it keeps falling off. Maybe I should.
Yeah. Let me go get my phone.
Okay.
I know we're recording.
Oh, yeah.
We are recording. Yay. We're going to cut out a good chunk of this.
Yeah.
Or we could just do like the Chelsea Pearls podcast, and we can just keep it all in. But we don't have a big mic to bring us in.
We'll see what we think, and maybe you know, like Caddy Jacks does some outtake kind of things.
We don't have Red Bank Mike to do our little intro like they have with the Jurassic Girls.